Present is Department of Zoning, Chris Hall. All persons in the audience required to sign in to the registration sheet. If you have not done so already, please do. Anyone have comments on the board from the last minutes of our last meeting?
I make a motion, we accept the minutes of our last meeting.
Second.
Thank you. All persons wishing to speak this evening on the issues, please raise your right hand and affirm to this oath. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will be given before the board is to the best of your knowledge and accurate and truthful presentation of the facts? If so, say I do.
I do.
Now in turn, please, who's gonna speak? You wanna come up here?
I think we'll, yeah, we'll kind of all.
If you all do, then bring a couple more chairs, I guess.
Chair? We'll grab one for
Our civil,
Just throw it anywhere.
it didn't slide like I expected it to. Our civil engineer is
He'll be here if you.
here, on his way.
That's good.
Did all speakers sign in?
We did, yeah.
We'll have Dan sign
Okay,
in.
and then we'll have to swear him in then. This hearing will be conducted in accordance with the provisions of the Ohio Sunshine Law. The notice of the hearing was duly published in a newsletter and a general circulation of the city of Macedonia. The notice is available for review upon request at the building department. The rules of the board require an affirmative vote of 3 members in order to pass regardless of the number of members present at the hearing. The hearing is conducted in an informal manner to review the evidence and to respond to questions. However, there is an outline of steps that will be taken in order. An appellant does not have to be present for the board to hear the case is publicized. Each case number and appeal request will be announced and its turn has arrived. Our first case this evening is case 712, and the appeal form is in order. Rachel, is there any correspondence from the notified adjacent property owners? No. Is there any unsolicited correspondence? No. Thank you. Will the zoning inspector now please state the city's position?
The Board of Zoning and Building Code Appeals will hear a request for an area variance at 1325 East Highland Road. The variance request is to section 117111 E4A. All parking areas and driveways shall be hard surfaced, bituminous concrete or concrete. The applicant is requesting a gravel surface outdoor storage area.
Does the board have any questions to the city? Anything? Okay. The board will now allow the presentation from the applicants, okay? Would you please,
You need to sign in, Dan.
okay,
You have to stand up, do a lap, take the oath,
Okay. Make sure you put
beg the forgiveness of everybody else here.
your middle initial, don't forget your middle initial. Yeah, 3 and 3 part. Oh, okay. I'm only a second child, but they ran out of names. I don't. Tried.
what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to swear you in, okay?
Okay.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you will be given before this board is to the best of your knowledge and accurate and truthful presentation of the facts? If so, say I did.
I do.
Thank you. All right, we'll go on. So we did the case number, which is case 712. Chris read it, all right, and the board will now allow presentation from the appellate. Please state all your names for the voice recognition, so we all know who everybody is. Thank you, go ahead.
I'm Sean Thompson, architect with TMA Architects.
Dan Bersakowski, civil engineer with MG Civil Design.
Christopher Posey with Nordonia Landscape Supplies.
Alex Kelly, TMA Architects. Nick Mergulata, Owners Rep.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen, floor is yours.
Okay, so, what we're looking for, is just this back section, and to be done in gravel. And the intent of this is to do this in asphalt. He has a front loader and trucks making sharp turns back here. And so one of the thoughts in our mind was that if it's gravel, it's something that he can very quickly and easily patch and repair versus cutting up and repairing gravel that gets torn up from trucks making very tight turns on it. And our thought was that we believe we are acting sort of in the intent of the code. So the main driveway, the main parking is all asphalt, access to the dumpsters is all asphalt. That there's really, he has some parking for his delivery, for his trucks that will be delivering goods back here. But generally, nobody from the general public is sort of coming back here. There's no need for anybody to be back here. So from the street, nobody would even know that this is a gravel lot. So it's not from an appearance standpoint, we don't have a gravel lot like some of the folks down that street do. We understand the idea of the eyesore of that, and we think that by having it just in this back area, we're also really not tracking dirt, debris, and gravel out onto the main road, which would also, I think, be a concern and one of the reasons why that's written into your zoning. So we kind of feel like we're maybe meeting halfway. We're trying to meet the intent of the code, but also give him something that is just easier for him to maintain long-term, that if this gets rutted or if it gets damaged from trucks and things making turns and pivoting back here.
Digging into the asphalt itself.
Yeah, that he can just come back, put some gravel down with his machines, can smooth it back out, and it will still suffice and be, good and safe for the truck traffic that's back there.
Okay. If it does go with the gravel, then you're gonna have gravel and you're gonna have mud and everything else, so your trucks that are going back there, they're gonna be turning around and everything else, and then going back out onto the road, okay? And also, if I remember right, I know, that's what you were
Okay.
talking about, if I remember right, isn't this access road, accessibility easement to the property behind you?
Correct.
So, yes.
So is this gonna be open the whole time?
Yes.
I mean, no gates and none,
No,
so
no.
if this person back here has a business, they're gonna be able to go in and out of here anytime they want during the day and night?
Yes,
So you're gonna have traffic going back there, okay, whether it's asphalt, concrete, or gravel?
correct. The big concern with the concrete or asphalt back here is with the weight of the front end loaders and the dump trucks that haul the material in and out, the asphalt, even on a commercial grade asphalt with that much turning and twisting, if we get 1 year out of the asphalt, it would be a blessing. It's just, it would be a highly used area. And if you guys were concerned about something actually making it from here out to the road, they make, I forget what they're called, I don't wanna call it a truck wash, but where actually you can put like a thing where the truck runs through water here to clean its tires before it would ever make it out of this area. On commercial job sites, they install temporary ones all the time.
So with concrete, you wouldn't have any problem?
Back there with the concrete,
With all concrete, instead of asphalt?
I don't wanna comment on the concrete. It was just one of those things that did we figure out what was an issue with?
I think it's.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, if we're gonna be honest about it, I think that the major reason that concrete was not gonna be an option was strictly, honestly, the cost.
So let me ask you, so is there an existing business?
No,
So it's to be built or to be I mean,
It just ran with the land there.
It runs
It's
with
an
the
easement.
land. I don't know if anybody's even
It
been,
may never be.
I would
Oh,
guess,
okay.
given
So
how
it's-
overgrown that lot is, nobody's ever been back there.
It's an easement that's there, that they have to leave it open.
oh, okay.
Okay,
So-
last
so it's-
meeting, this
okay.
is what we went through,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay.
So if it was your property or my property, and next
Okay.
month we go back there, we wanna build, we're using this
Okay.
driveway entranceway.
Correct.
We're using everything,
correct,
okay, so
But it's an easement, it's not for anything that's gonna be used.
driveway easement.
correct. Driveway easement, correct.
Right.
It would be just strictly a driveway easement to access the parcel of land that is sitting behind me.
Okay. Do you own that parcel?
At this point, I do not own that parcel.
Just
Trying to.
Try.
That would be,
But I'm just gonna be honest, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
No,
I,
that
no,
would be
I
great.
understand, just
Yeah.
trying to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the other question I have is, I thought I read in there, does this slope to the north?
It slopes basically more to the west than to the north.
Okay. So if it were concrete, I'm just wondering where the runoff would be.
We would, well, I mean, we haven't completed a complete grading design yet on this site, but
Okay.
I would anticipate catch basins in the center, whether it's gravel or concrete, that would then end up in our pond here. So we're gonna basically cut all this drainage off that goes, like Sean said, east to west, and send it over here, because this drainage, once it's running to the west and then towards Highland Road,
Okay.
kind of through this area here.
You haven't been with planning commission with that yet, really?
Right, the preliminary, we submitted and we did get our conditional approval. But yeah, the next step would, if we would get our variances tonight, we would move forward with final design.
And last question, am I understanding this drawing correctly? And you said there's a couple of parking spots back there. They're concrete?
The parking spots are on concrete.
Okay.
Correct.
So technically, this is not a parking area at all?
No,
That was actually, if we're splitting hairs, that was our initial review of the code, was it's an outdoor storage area, not a parking area, therefore it wouldn't be required to be paved. But in the light of the way the code is written, I get that. The intent was that it would be paved.
Right. As
so-
Brian Francis in his memorandum,
Yeah.
that's his recommendation, is being paved instead of gravel. The city doesn't use a lot of gravel for businesses, okay?
Understood, and that's, and we would never consider doing it out here either, where people are in and out and parking all day. That's, in fact, one of the things that drove this layout was, actually putting this to the back where this is not as visible and all of that from the road.
Well, the visibility is part of it, okay? The other part is the dust, the dirt, the mud, and everything else. And that's a big concern.
Do we have a different part of the code for outdoor storage, or this is it? Because I remember we've had some of those
Oh,
cases,
yeah.
and I don't remember what
The code
the
there.
code that we referenced. It's all just this one.
This one.
Okay. And then just confirming, this covers asphalt as well, right? Is that,
Pardon?
does this cover asphalt as well?
Yes,
Okay.
the bituminous
Bituminous,
cover.
okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm not a civil engineer, sorry.
Yeah, so it'll be the asphalt instead of the concrete.
Okay.
If you're going that route, because of the
Yeah.
concrete, the expense of concrete would
Right.
be asphalt.
And like I said, our biggest concern with the asphalt is that the asphalt, it's a tight area to begin with. We got everything as tight as we possibly can, but just with the in and out of the
Well,
trucks, it'll.
did you give you the variance
Yes.
to opening it up?
Yeah.
So you do have much more space than you did originally.
6 feet.
Correct.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, any other questions?
Cost of concrete, you say it's an expense. Lifetime of concrete, how long do you think it'll last, 10 years?
In this application, 5 to 7 years.
5 to 7
Yes, sir.
years.
Yes.
What about asphalt?
In this application, a year if I'm lucky.
Okay. You're saying repair the gravel for how many times? 3 times a week, twice a week?
Honestly, if you want to know the truth, I mean, in the lot now where our storage bins are currently located, and if you wanted to see pictures, I could submit them if you wanted to. I would say we do it honestly, once in the spring and once in the fall.
So we're doing twice a year?
Yeah, because just, because you're freeze thaw. In the summertime, there's not an issue with that. And then we have, again, we didn't get to that yet, but I was gonna let them know, we have like a water truck to keep dust down, so we have a big, giant 350, 500 gallon thing of water, and we fill that. And if it does get hot and dry in the summertime, even where we're currently at right now, that water truck just goes around like they do at most yards and lays down water to keep that dust or anything kicking up.
Plus you can self-perform that.
Right, plus that's all something we can do, because that's our line of work. This is like 4 of these bins are limestone, so we have limestone access like 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So if something did need repaired, we could repair it instantaneous and not have to pay a
The
contractor.
dust is a big problem, and we've
Correct.
had this problem with other,
That is our biggest
okay?
problem.
you
Like I
know,
said, we have that
and
water-
Like
that
I
water
said, the
truck.
code, well, I know, but, you know, you could do it twice a day, and somebody's gonna say, hey, it should be done 10 times a day, okay? You know, so this is a big problem here.
Do you guys, have you gotten a lot of complaints, or do you know of any complaints from, Advanced Excavating's neighbors?
I have not
They're
personally.
Probably a good 2-3 acre.
Okay,
gravel
I mean,
lot.
I don't, as far as I know, have you got any complaints?
We have not.
Okay, so, you know, but that's them, okay?
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
I'm just because of the proximity, that's the only
Right.
reason I asked, yeah.
What is it?
right.
We're right next to them, and they're quadruple the amount of gravel.
I mean, this is the reason why we do have this ordinance in there, okay? It is, so there is no problems down the road, or,
Sure, yeah.
okay? Gentlemen, any other questions? Chair's open for motion. Do you have anything else
I mean,
to add?
the other thing we could do is there is a chemical additive, we don't currently need to do it right now, but there is a chemical additive that you can put in with the water that also is a dust reduction. It did on, you know, in a situation like this where there's open yards or, you know, gravel areas like this and storage areas, that's not parking areas.
Okay. Any motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve as requested,
Second?
case number 712.
Second.
Rachel, we roll call, please.
Mr. Shalko?
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro?
No.
Mr. Alfredo?
No.
Mr. Pilato?
No. Case 712 has been denied. And we will be moving on to case 713. Okay, case 713. Rachel, is there any correspondence from notified adjacent property owners?
No.
Is there any unsolicited correspondence
No.
regarding this case? And Chris, would you please state the city's position?
The Board of Zoning and Building Code Appeals will hear a request for an area variance at 1325 East Highland Road. The variance request is to section 1171-11E3. Access ways shall not be less than 12 feet, nor more than 36 feet in width at the property line. The applicant is requesting a variance of 13 feet to have a drive apron width at the property line of 49 feet.
Does board members have any questions to the city?
Yeah, do you know what the intent of having a maximum in the code is?
Yeah, I thought the
I
same
was
thing.
curious, I understand why there's a minimum, but,
I don't know.
okay.
Well,
Impervious service,
I would
possibly.
say, I think this code was written when trucks were 20 feet
This
long. And now they're 53 or longer.
We had the same thought.
Yeah,
You know, I see this all the time.
and I think that's,
You're-
your question is a great way to start this whole conversation, because I agree with that. What is the intent of it? And my thought is the intent of that is 36 feet is equal to 3 lanes. So what they're saying is they want a maximum of a right out and a left out and then an inbound lane. So there's your 36, and the intent is for that to be measured at the throat of the driveway, not at the right of way, because we're subject to wherever this curb is.
Right.
If this curb was out here, we would be fine. But it's because our turn is in that right-of-way area,
Yeah.
and it's really, it's more of a, instead of zoning, it's more of an engineering problem, because we have he has certain size trucks that need to get in and out of there safely,
Right,
so.
and all your deliveries basically are huge, bigger trucks, I take it, correct?
Yes.
And you don't wanna be going into oncoming traffic.
No.
by the way.
Correct.
We try not to make people do that.
Stay on this, decide to double yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else you want to add to that?
I mean, you did the turning analysis that pretty much,
I did a turning analysis that kind of shows you that we need all of this apron in order to get this semi in and out, so.
I mean, it's more common sense than,
I would like to make a motion.
well, there you go.
I would like a motion that we accept case 713 as they're asking for.
Second.
Rachel, would you take a roll call, please?
Mr. Bellato?
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro?
Yes.
Mr. Shelko?
Yes.
Mr. Iafreda?
Yes.
Case 713 has passed.
Okay.
And that'd be great.
Okay, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Sorry to make you all come in for 20 minutes on it.
Thank you very much. Okay. Have a safe one. Thank you. You and all your families.
Yeah.
Good, you?
Yep.
I need to
Bye, guys. Well, do we have any other business? I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Oh my gosh,
Before
this
we-
is a record.
Yeah, but before we do, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
I thought you were gonna go on with something else.
No, that's
I
good.
figured that was the quickest motion we've ever had.
Yeah, that's.
So I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Meeting's adjourned.
All right.